Natalia Pimentel, and my fellow group members are Mariana Serro, Perio Lisa, and Axel Pantaleon. And I will be introducing the topic for our final project, Rationality Requires Thinking at the Margin, for Group 10. To begin with, what does it mean to think at the margin? Thinking at the margin analyzes possible benefit from your next move and just acts accordingly to it. Also, thinking at the margin involves comparing the opportunity costs and benefits, and it is called a cost-benefit analysis. If you want to make good decisions on the margin, you have to weigh the marginal costs against the marginal benefits, always. Basically, what thinking at the margin means, it is to let the past go and to think forward to the next hour, day, year, or dollar you expend in time or money. Everybody thinks at the margin, and it happens every single day because you are making a decision that will determine what will happen in the future, not only in our personal lives, but also our professional lives as well. So why is rationality important for thinking at the margin? Rationality lends itself to smarter decisions that have the added benefit of leading to greater profit. For example, say you're not rational with the decisions you make. You tend to make more of a poor decision or maybe the wrong decision overall, and having the slightest chance of making the best decision. So to think at the margin, rationality is definitely needed so the smartest and best decisions can be made to determine the outcome of your future.
Thinking at the margin tends to mean to think about your next step forward or what's going to eventually happen or what's coming up. The word marginal means additional, so in addition to or of something or someone. An example of thinking at the margin can be it's a really hot day and you're really in the mood for a glass of lemonade. You see a lemonade stand 100 degrees out, so you go to purchase a glass. It's super refreshing. Your thirst is quenched, and it's perfect. 10 minutes later, since it's still really hot, you end up getting a second glass. The second glass wasn't as effective as the first one, so you end up not as satisfied. And that was you thinking at the margin, thinking about your next step or what was going to eventually happen or what you were going to eventually purchase, and that was the second glass. So when you were thinking about what it was going to do for you, and as you saw, it wasn't as effective as the first glass. When you're thinking at the margin, this tends to really mean to let the past go and to think forward for the next hour, day, year, dollar that you expend in time or money. So the question that you should be asking yourself is, what's better for you now or in the next few minutes? If you think at the margin, you think about the future and you're just thinking ahead. There are two different types of components that make up marginal thinking, and those are marginal cost and marginal benefit. The marginal cost is the cost added by producing one additional unit of a product or service. The term marginal cost refers to what a seller or producer has to sacrifice in order to sell or produce one more item. Marginal benefit is formally defined as the incremental increase in benefiting a consumer when an additional unit of a product is consumed. Marginal benefit is the additional benefit arising from an increase in a particular activity. So an example of marginal benefit can be a consumer is willing to pay $5 for chocolate chip ice cream at the store. So the marginal benefit of consuming the ice cream would be $5. So the consumer may be substantially less willing to get a second scoop of ice cream or a second ice cream if the price was still $5. But at only a $2 expenditure, that'll probably tempt the person into buying another one. So if the marginal benefit has declined from 5 to 2, so you've taken away $3 from it, and you still get another unit of ice cream, so you get another big scoop of chocolate chip ice cream, that's probably going to make the person more tempted or more willing to purchase it. So thus the marginal benefit declines as the consumer's level of consumption increases. So that's going over marginal benefit, marginal cost, and thinking.
Thank you, Axel. Hi, my name is Mariana Serrao, and I will be presenting the stock market portion of our group. So, how does thinking at the margin affect us? Thinking at the margin affects us in different types of ways. It involves comparing the opportunity cost and benefits. These two terms affect how we think rationally at the margin. For example, buying stocks makes us think rationally. When we are buying stocks, we need to keep in mind that the decisions we make now will affect what happens in the future. So, how do we weigh these different costs? So, through the stock market, we will look at things that have happened in the past, the growth of that certain stock, to make the rational decision of buying that stock and seeing if we have a certain benefit in the future. So the effect of how we think rationally at the margin can affect many different events in life, not only stock markets, but different events that may happen in our life. Every day-to-day situation involves thinking at the margin. But one we'll be focusing on today would be buying stocks. So what is a stock? Stocks represent fractional ownership in a company. For organizations, giving stock is an approach to fundraise, to develop, and put resources into their business. Stocks can only be a part of public businesses. Public sectors are the only companies that can own stocks or give out stocks, sell them to individuals that want to make a profit using their rational thinking. Private businesses can't take part in stocks. So once you buy a stock, you're holding a part ownership of that specific company. You have potential dividend payments, you have primitive rights, you have limited liability, price appreciation, voting rights. However, you risk losing your investment when the company isn't doing well. So for example, if you see a stock that isn't doing so well, you might not be willing to buy it, rather a stock that has been growing. For example, Tesla was very low last year. It was in the 200s, and this year it's in the 1,200s because of the automotive vehicle industry growing so much in the past year. So when looking at stocks, you have to use your rational thinking at the margin in order to determine which stock you're going to purchase. A good way of doing this specifically for stocks would be to see what is of trend or of growth. For example, with the whole spread of the coronavirus, something that would be of growth right now would be medical companies, companies that have shut down due to the virus, such as airlines, cruise lines, different things like that would be a good investment as they have a potential growth in the future. So a stock is a fractional ownership in a company. And now my fellow partner, Piero Lisa, is going to explain how the stock market works.
Thank you, Mariana. Hello, guys. My name is Piero, and I'm going to talk to you about how the stock market works. So, how does the stock market work? Companies will issue stock to individuals or stockholders in order to raise their capital companies. Then they will receive money from their stockholders, and then these funds are raised to generate more profit for the company. Then the shareholders will share their shares in order to make a profit. The stock market works like if it were an auction. For example, people will be attentive to the fluctuation of prices in the stock market as how they are during a live auction. The financial exchange functions are entirely basic. The financial exchange empowers purchasers and vendors to arrange costs and make exchanges. Critical thinking, when applied at the stock market, lends itself to the concept of thinking at the margin. The thought process that is required to make financial gains requires looking to how the next auction affects you in the near future. Critical thinking is a good tool to use not only in finance and economic industries, but also it is a good tool for life. So in conclusion, thinking at the margin rationally can create great results financially. The stock market is just one of the many topics rationally thinking at the margin is utilized. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy our presentation. Stay safe, everyone.